The world of fitness, science, and digital content creation was shaken when renowned fitness influencer and cancer researcher Stephanie Buttermore died suddenly at the age of 36, leaving behind a grieving fiancé, Jeff Nippard ***. Nippard, a Canadian bodybuilder and popular YouTube creator, announced her death on social media, describing the loss as unimaginably painful and asking for privacy as they mourned her passing. In the days that followed, details about her funeral began to emerge, and Nippard's remarks during the service offered a stark, deeply personal glimpse into the love they shared, the impact she had on those around her, and the unexpected void her death has left in the lives of so many. At the funeral, held in a setting surrounded by friends, family, and members of the online and scientific communities who admired Buttermore's work and spirit, Jeff Nippard spoke with raw emotion. He stood before the gathered mourners, grappling with the enormity of his loss yet determined to honor her life with authenticity. Nippard's voice carried both sorrow and reverence as he reflected on the decade they spent together. A partnership that began online, blossomed into a deep bond founded on shared interests and mutual respect, and culminated in their engagement in 2022. In his tribute, Nippard painted a portrait of Buttermore that went far beyond her public persona. To him, she was not merely a viral influencer or a respected researcher. She was a beacon of curiosity, compassion, and courage, the kind of person who drew others in not because of her accomplishments, but because of her character. He spoke of her commitment to science, particularly her work in ovarian cancer research, and of how she used her platform to educate, inspire, and uplift others on matters of health, body image, and mental well-being. Though she had stepped back from social media in 2024 to focus on her own mental health, a decision she described as necessary and ultimately beneficial at the time, many people had continued to feel the influence of her earlier work and her willingness to be vulnerable about her struggles. Nippard's words did not shy away from the pain of the moment. He did not attempt to sugarcoat the shock and grief that had overtaken him and countless others who loved Buttermore. Instead, he acknowledged that she was taken far too soon, that her sudden departure had left an emptiness that could never be filled, and that processing such a loss would take time no one could predict. He spoke about the unpredictable nature of life and loss, how someone so vibrant, so passionate, and so full of potential could be gone in an instant. Those in attendance could hear the tremor in his voice as he recalled ordinary moments with her, quiet mornings spent talking over coffee, spirited debates about science and philosophy, and the way she approached both life and hardship with a blend of hope and realism that was uniquely hers. But amid the grief, Nippard also celebrated Buttermore's legacy. He spoke of her resilience in the face of challenges, of her dedication to understanding and educating others about the human body, and of the joy she found in bridging the worlds of science and fitness. He reminded those present that her impact was not limited to her millions of followers on YouTube and Instagram. It was present in the countless private moments in which she encouraged a friend, offered guidance to a student, or listened without judgment to someone wrestling with self-doubt or insecurity. What made Stephanie extraordinary, Nippard said, his voice breaking yet steady, was not just her achievements but her empathy. She saw the value in every person she met, and she reminded us that our worth isn't measured by numbers on a scale or by algorithms or by accolades. She taught us to be brave in the face of uncertainty and gentle with ourselves and others. At times, his words turned inward, as he spoke directly to the personal nature of their relationship. He shared how their connection had grown deeper over the years, how their dreams and plans had become intertwined, and how the thought of a future without her seemed unfathomable. Yet he also expressed gratitude for the time they had, a decade of shared experiences that shaped who he became as both a man and a creator. Drawing tears from many present, he described holding her hand in their final moments together, feeling her strength even as her body grew weak, and whispering to her about the love that had defined their life together. In honoring her memory, Nippard also acknowledged the broader impact of her work beyond their personal story. He spoke to the fitness and science communities, reminding fellow creators and professionals that Buttermore's approach was rooted in inquiry and kindness rather than perfectionism or judgment. She had encouraged people to rethink their relationships with food, exercise, and self-acceptance, a message that resonated deeply with those struggling with their own internal battles. Her legacy, he said, would continue to live on through the many lives she had touched, both publicly and privately. Nippard's speech also served as a call to compassion, a reminder that the people we see online, no matter how confident or accomplished they appear, often carry struggles unseen by the public eye. He urged those listening to be mindful of the complexity of human experience, to be supportive of those around them, and to seek help when needed. His reflections echoed broader conversations about mental health and the pressures faced by individuals in the public sphere, particularly those whose work intersects with personal identity and well-being. As the service drew to close, Nippard invited those gathered to carry forward the lessons and love that Buttermore embodied. He asked them to celebrate her life not just through mourning, but through action by supporting one another, fostering curiosity, and living with more intention and empathy. In that moment, what might have been an overwhelming expression of grief became a collective affirmation of her life's meaning. Outside the funeral venue, friends, family members, and fans shared memories and stories of Buttermore, from her groundbreaking research to her engaging fitness content and the warmth she displayed in countless personal interactions. Many spoke of her bravery, her kindness, and the way she made others feel seen and understood. Though the exact cause of her sudden death has not been disclosed publicly, the resonance of her influence was clear. People around the world were mourning someone who had inspired them in diverse ways, whether through her scientific insights, her fitness guidance, or her honest discussions about life's challenges. In the days following the funeral, tributes continued to pour in across social media and online communities. Followers shared videos, quotes, and personal reflections, underscoring how deeply Buttermore's message had resonated. Many reiterated Nippard's own sentiments about vulnerability, strength, and connection, and expressed hope that her legacy would continue to encourage open conversations about mental health and well-being. For Jeff Nippard himself, the path forward remains uncertain and undoubtedly painful. Losing a partner, a confidant, and a soulmate so suddenly is an experience that reshapes everything that comes after. Yet in his funeral tribute, Nippard demonstrated a profound respect for both the love he shared with Buttermore and the larger impact of her life's work. His words captured not only the sorrow of loss, but also the beauty that can flourish when two people share purpose and passion. In the end, his tribute was more than an expression of grief. It was a testament to a life that mattered, a life that elevated others, and invited them to live more fully, more honestly, and with greater empathy. As those who knew her work continue to reflect on her legacy, Nippard's words at her funeral will likely remain a powerful reminder of the love she inspired and the lessons she left behind.